Hey, everybody, welcome to Growing Up Chestnut. I'm Mike, and
I'm
this is
Becky.
my beautiful, beautiful
That's
sister,
right.
Becky.
Oh man, you
You
just
got
said
me,
something.
it's taking you 55 years to get me to train to say that.
Yes, but that means you want something, or I'm not. I'm not cleaning your room.
Oh, Amber will be upset with that. So
That's what you
we
want me to
came,
do.
today we came up with a topic. This is our seventh episode. Can you believe that? So we have seven episodes, and today is animal troubles, which is hilarious because we had to stop. We had so many animal stories because mom was not a pet person, was she?
Nope, not
In
at all.
fact, she didn't like pets at all.
At all. But some of them were necessary, so because we lived out in the country. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I remember one of the funniest things that ever happened at Valley Baptist Church was, again, it was me and Roger doing it. I,
Yeah,
there's a common theme with that with me and Roger. Okay,
I do. I feel
but
like we told this, but maybe not. Okay.
so anyways, uh, Mr. Latham, remember him? I love Mr. Latham. They were
Yes.
the Morses' neighbors,
Yes.
and I think they're who got the Morse to come to church with us.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
anyways, Mr. Latham, later on in his years, we would go to choir, and every time we went to choir, we would come up and he goes, "See those fish in there?" And he would see fish in the baptismal, and Mr. Latham would be like, "There's no fish in that baptismal." All the stuff. So one Saturday, me and Roger thought it would be a funny thing to do. Of course, let's go get some goldfish. So we went and got 2 dozen goldfish from the pet store, and we put them into the baptismal right before church started. Okay. So when we come, so as church is starting, we would come out those side doors. And as we came in, and Mr. Latham walks up, he sees fish every week, but the one week that we have 24 goldfish in the baptismal,
Yeah.
he doesn't see it.
Doesn't seem
So Roger's like, Mr. Latham, look at those fish. And he's like, oh, I mean, he was like, I told you there were
he was
fish in
so
that
excited.
baptismal. He was so excited. What people, so what we didn't know was that they put chlorine into
In the
the
baptistry.
baptismal, right? So me and Roger, of course, we didn't get little goldfish. We got some of the best goldfish, okay? And all of a sudden they were making it fine during choir, but we went and sat down. The choir left, everybody went and sat in the pews, and Dad
Started preaching.
started preaching. Well, what was funny was these goldfish couldn't breathe because there's
Of the
chlorine in
chlorine.
there. And where we had that glass so
Yes,
that you could
glass
see
where you
people
could
get
see it.
baptized, and so water would come up here. And here's these big goldfish going,
And they were jumping.
and they jumped and
And
they
then
were
they were
flopping
jumping
on the
to get
floor.
because they're trying to get
Yeah,
air
yeah. So we
or
got
oxygen or whatever it was
goldfish.
they're trying to do. Trying to
We got
live.
goldfish flopping in the choir loft while Dad's trying to preach, and people are like, and they're
Nobody really knows
laughing.
what's going on. Yeah, it's like, what is going on?
Nobody want right. Nobody knows what to do. Finally, I don't know. I
He
want
said,
to
all
say
right, Rella.
I think it was
We'll
Ray Cunningham. I think Ray Cunningham went and got a bowl or something, went and got the fish. But Dad,
but not at first.
he
Not
didn't
till
really
after.
know what was going on, and he reached down because everybody's laughing. He's getting a little nervous, so he reached down to take a drink of water. I put one of the goldfish in Dad's drinking water.
I did not
So
know that
yeah,
because
so,
that had to be afterwards because he didn't know
no,
that because he didn't know what was going on behind him while everybody was laughing.
yeah, but the glass of water was underneath the pulpit, so he
Because
didn't
he
pay attention.
Oh man,
And
maybe that's what it was.
so when Dad pulled out
I
the
did not
glass
know
of
that.
water to drink, everybody loses it because you see this goldfish
I don't
floating
remember that
around
part.
in the street. Oh yeah, and Dad goes, "Well, I
I was
see
there.
my son." He goes, "I see Mike and Roger's been busy again," and we're like,
I think
"How
I
did
do
he know it
remember that
was
now.
us?
I
Out
think
of
I do remember
there's
that.
the whole church. How did he know it
I
was us?" Well,
I do remember that now when you said that.
obviously, but I think Ray Cunningham went and got a bowl and got as much of the goldfish that he could because
But not at
They were
first
jump.
because
They were jumping, and Dad was so mad because he lost
well
the congregation at
but
that time. You
no,
could
but
He couldn't
what
preach anymore.
yeah, but what you're not telling is before Ray Cunningham got the goldfish out, Dad said to Mom, he's trying to preach and people are giggling, and finally he said, "Okay, Rella, what's so funny?" And she just looked at him and he said, "I've already checked my nose. I've checked my zipper. What is so funny?" Because he thought people were laughing at him, and she just pointed at. Remember, she pointed at the.
Yes,
She said the
yes,
baptistry. I think she said the baptistry, or she pointed or whatever. And he turned out
and
that's. And then Ray
that's when he
Cunningham.
knew that the fish were there, and then that's when he picked up his glass and he said, "Well, I see Mike and Roger's been busy," and I was just like, I was shocked. Like, how did he know it was us?
That's so
Like.
disappointing.
But what was funny was uh, I got to say, Dad had a really good sense of humor that day because he didn't get mad at me. I wasn't in trouble for it, because it was funny.
It
But
was funny.
he was like he could hardly preach a message. That message that day was nothing. If he
It
should
was
have done
probably
he should have changed his message to about the loaves, and
the
the
three.
fish. That would have been. He could have used
Yeah,
that as an object lesson, how they multiply.
I've only seen like 2 or 3 times when Dad actually finally had to close his Bible and say, "Okay, I'm licked," but
Yeah.
I don't remember
One
him doing
time
it.
was rare he did that was when a mouse got loose in the church and it was going under all the
The
pews
Ray
and the women
Stevens
were
songs,
jumping.
the
People were
squirrel
jumping
song.
up. Yeah. And dad finally he's like, I know when I'm beat. I'm beat, because that
Well,
mouse was everywhere.
and those women are. We're not going to sit there and let that happen and be there
No,
with it because we had a
no.
cornfield. We the church when they built the church, it was a soy field and a cornfield. It was out in the middle
Yeah.
of
There's nothing but
farmland.
cornfield
There
around
was
us.
nothing, flat land, nothing. So when the winter started, and after they had harvested everything and winter started, this is why it was about animals. And my mom had to put up with it, but because we had a parsonage door. But when the when it would start, then the mice would come into the church into our home. They would
Yeah.
find you know
I remember
warmth,
there
I
was a
guess.
mouse that had babies in our house, and we had like a big litter of mice all over our house. And that's when Mom finally gave in that we could get a cat.
Mhm.
Remember?
Yep.
And I think at that point, that's when we got Squeaky.
Well, Squeaky just came to the house and she let us keep him. That's why he's
Really?
called Squeaky, because came out on the back porch and we opened the door and he was there. And, me and you and Greg are like, keep him. Mom's like, no, but the mice, she was a good mouser too. But the reason we called her Squeaky was because she had like laryngitis or something. She was going,
Hmm.
we could barely, so we called her Squeaky or him, whatever. And he was a good mouser,
Yeah.
a real good
And
mouser.
he got rid of almost all those mice. But remember, and you know this story probably better than me, but Dad was gone on a trip,
Yes. I do
and
remember that.
one of the things Squeaky liked to do was bring prizes to the
Rewards
door
to show mom.
yeah.
Look what I
So
caught.
tell them about that.
Well, mom, dad, that's back in the day when you called after 7 o'clock. There's a price thing, and she's waiting. And so dad called her because he was at Tennessee Temple at some preachers conference. I think it was Temple and
Yeah.
in Chattanooga. And so she was talking to him, and then she said somebody's at the door. Well, it was Squeaky. So she puts the phone down, and it's right by the doorway, and she starts screaming. and she grabbed the broom because when she started screaming, I don't know if Greg came out. I know I came out, and I don't even know if you came out, if you remember, but she took a broom and she was going.
No,
What happened was he was playing with the mouse. He was batting it back and forth,
the
and
mouse
so
was still
she,
alive, wasn't it?
yeah, and so she's screaming and she's saying, get out of here! I'm gonna kill you or something. I don't know what she's saying.
And
And she's
Dad's on the other line, not knowing what's going on. All he
so
can
he's like
hear is Mom screaming,
screaming,
Get out of here! Get out of here! Don't
yeah,
you bring that! Don't come in this house!"
like
And
yeah.
all
I
that.
don't remember all the words she said, but he was like, "Do I call 911? What do I do?" Because back then, he's in a
Well, that
different
was
state.
before 911.
Yeah, but I mean, he's called zero, I guess. I don't know what, but he was like, "What does he do?" He was like panicking. About that time, Mom was on the phone. She's that stupid cat, and he's like, "What?"
Oh,
He said,
Dad
"Don't."
was so
Yes, and
livid.
Mom was mad. And she was telling Dad. He goes, "Don't you ever do that again." He said, "I'm over here. I'm in Chattanooga. I'm 16 hours away, or 12 hours, 13, whatever it was." And I remember him getting upset, but I didn't know he was on the phone. I just know when Mom screamed, we all came because I remember her taking the broom and she would hit the mouse and then Squeaky would hit the mouse back at her and they were just she's screaming the whole time. It's like, oh my goodness.
But because of the cornfields, Mom would let us have cats. And after Squeaky passed away, someone poisoned Squeaky. Remember that? That was the sad part because
Yeah,
that was
but
a good cat.
mom liked
That
you though.
cat. Ever what was funny? That cat would make
The
Mom.
cat did not die,
It
Mike.
liked your bed,
Yes.
Squeaky.
Yes.
Mom got rid of that cat too.
Yeah. I'm gonna see
Oh,
Bonnie Cunningham next week. Maybe I can get her on and tell a couple episodes of that.
yeah. Bonnie
Yes.
was Mom's accomplice. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so then we had a mouse problem again. So Bill Bates had a litter of cats, and we got to pick a cat, and we got this cat named Shiner because it had a black eye, and it was a kitten, and it was a crazy cat. It was a crazy cat because
Insane.
it would be sitting. It was one of those cats that'd be sitting there, all of a sudden decide it needed to be in the other room, jump up, and it would run and hit the wall, and then hit the wall again, and then go out the door. Remember? So,
Yes.
anyways, it was after church one Sunday night, I think.
Yeah.
Wednesday night or Sunday night, I don't know, it doesn't matter.
It was in the
Um,
night.
yes. And I couldn't find this cat all day.
Well,
And I
after
was worried
church,
about
all
this
the
cat.
kids, yeah, but after church, all the kids go out and play. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we'd go
out in the
play. We had a
it's
big
out in the
yard
middle of
out there.
nowhere. Yeah, and it was out in the middle
Yeah,
of
so it
nowhere.
was
But
safe.
we did have a street there, and occasionally
We had two
cars
busy
come down it.
roads. We had one really busy, but the other one was a little bit busy. So us kids went out and played. And me and I think it was Jerry Phillips at the time.
Phillips.
We found I saw him, our cat Shiner had got hit by a car and was laying on the road dead. And I was devastated. And I
Crying.
came running into the church, hysterical, going,
Yeah.
"He's dead! He's dead! He got hit by a car! He's dead! He's dead!
So
I
the whole
know
church.
Jerry! And I said Jerry because Jerry was with me. And nobody could calm me down. And I'm going, "He's dead! He got hit." Everybody starts grabbing their kids, counting their kids, looking for their
Everybody
kids,
went.
trying to find out who
Everybody
got
went to
hit
the
by a
road
car.
and ran to the road. And when they saw, they want everybody. I think the whole church wanted to kill you that night, but nobody
But
cared about the cat after that. They were like,
I remember Bonnie felt so bad though because they had seen it on the
yeah,
side of the road before church, and they were going to say something to Mom and Dad after church. Um, and I remember
before you
Bonnie
found
felt
out.
bad because she felt like, well, she couldn't have done anything different, But the next day, that's when we got our cat Princess. And remember Princess? Princess
Yeah,
was a pure white cat, but that was a great cat.
she was
But
beautiful.
Mom
Blue
hated
eyes.
that cat because it shed, and Mom would get. She hated the white cat fur. Remember that?
Oh yeah, how could I
Mom did
not?
not like animals,
And
and
mom was a little
so
OCD too, but
But that cat, mom was so cheap. We're like, she wouldn't spend the $20 to go get the cat neutered. So this cat, so I remember it was in heat one time, and
One time.
well, a lot. But the
Yeah.
first time it was heat, and I didn't know. All I knew was it was winter outside. We had a blizzard actually going on, and so when the cat was in heat, it would go, and it sounded like it was dying. And I'm worried about my cat. And I remember all Dad would say is, Mom and Dad would say, Mike, don't
Leave it
let
alone.
that cat out because they didn't want that cat to get pregnant because she had already had 2 litters, so they didn't want me to let that cat out. And I remember the cat. Me and Dad were downstairs and watching TV, and that cat was crawling on the carpet, just wow. It sounded like it's trying to go. I go, Dad, that poor cat. And Dad goes, Mike, just leave that cat alone. It's in heat. It's all that's wrong with it. Well, I didn't know what that meant. So Mom's upstairs in the dining room. She's
I remember
with
this.
Emmett Atkins, was it?
Atkins.
It was
Yeah,
a
Emma
missionary.
Atkins.
And
They went to
they're
Trace
sitting in
Temple
the
with him.
yeah, and they're sitting in the dining room table. I scoop that cat up. I run upstairs. Now we got a blizzard going on outside. All I know is I'm not allowed to let this cat outside,
And it's in
and
heat.
but it's burning up because it's in heat. I have compassion for my cat. So while Mom and Emmett Atkins are sitting at the table talking, I go. We had a window unit, air conditioner that stayed there all the time, and I plugged that
Yeah, you had to plug it
window
in.
unit in and turn on the air conditioner. Well, Mom went, what are you doing, Mike? And I said, and those
It's
missionaries
below
just sitting there
zero
with
out
Mom.
there.
I said, Dad said this cat's in heat and I'm going to cool it off. Like that. I was just, Mom was so embarrassed. Those missionaries just started laughing and she goes, Roy, you come talk to this boy right now. And Dad couldn't do anything because he was laughing
Laughing.
so
Yes.
hard. And I was like, I got that cat in front, and it's below zero outside. And I'm holding this cat up in front of this air conditioner.
Dad said, well,
You
I told
know,
him it was. Dad said, well, I told him it was in heat.
and I
But she's
loved
always
it
because she was always mad at him because he would never tell you exactly
about the
like the
birds and
birds
the
and bees.
bees and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yes, finally he did. The birds. He said,
He said
"My
the
birds go tweet tweet. The bees go buzz buzz. The bees will sting you, and the birds will poop on you."
so she
That was my
talked to the
birds and the
boys.
bees talk.
Yeah. Then she said, did you talk to the boys? And he said, yeah. And then she asked, well, what
She
did you
asked
tell
me,
him?
and
And
I
he told
said,
her.
I go, Mom, I knew that in kindergarten. And she's like, that's when she went down. Roy, what did you tell those boys? She was so mad at Dad. But I have to thank Dad. I'm glad I didn't get the birds and bees talk from Dad.
Not from Dad, anyway. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Someone would have had to give it to him first. But so we had Princess, but remember, so Princess would get pregnant all the time, and Mom was too cheap. And remember that one time when she was pregnant and Greg scolded her.
Yes. What's wrong with? I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know he said you are the preacher's cat, and you were out running around and coming in
He
here
was
and getting
like,
pregnant. Oh yeah,
he
he
was
said it
pointing
really.
at her, going, "How dare you come in here like a harlot?" He was
Yes.
like, "You're the pastor's cat, and you're pregnant by how many cats out there?" And that
And how?
cat
What
had
an
its head,
example is that to the other cats? Something like that.
and that cat had its head down like in shame. And I was, how old was I? I was 20 something years old when I found out that Bonnie and Mom dumped that cat at the Phillips Park.
Yeah.
I was so mad at Mom.
Well, Mom
I
didn't
was,
dump. I thought it was at the Phillips Park. I thought it was at the graveyard, but I know that
I don't know. We'll have to get
they
Bonnie
got
on
the
here so
cat
she can
in.
tell us where.
Yeah, I know
Bonnie,
that they
I
got.
want you to come on here and make a count of yourself and tell me where you and Mom dumped all my animals at. Mom always
I know
Mom
that
always had to involve Bonnie, didn't she?
it's her partner in crime. Well, I know that they opened up they got them in the cars now, and I think the way Mom told me was they would leave the door open and walk away like, so look, or like they didn't know that the cat got out of the car, and then they
Yeah.
would, yeah.
It was a good cat too. That was Bonnie. I remember Bonnie said she felt so guilty and bad about it. But what could she do? Mom
It's
involved
Rella,
her in it.
Rella.
Oh, mom hated animals. So one year, Dad and Bill Adams.
She
Bill
said she
Adams
didn't.
was oh, so Bill Adams and Dad decided to raise chickens. Remember that? So we built a chicken coop out there, and we raised chicken. And well, there was two things that came out of it, stories I remember about. One was we had this rooster that we kept, and that rooster was mean. And remember, it one
I
day
love
it
that
tracked
rooster.
all the women, but only on Sundays it would be me. It would go and it would
It
attack
was
people
protecting
trying to
its
come into
hens.
church.
He was protecting his hens. I don't know.
Yeah. And they come in and go, there's a rooster out there attacking everybody. There was a couple ladies who wouldn't get out of their car. And me and Greg would have to go out there and catch it. And you know how hard it is to be in a suit running around a parking lot at church trying to catch a rooster? It, it
A
was
mean
it
rooster.
wasn't easy. And
But
then heaven
I love that
forbid
rooster.
I get chicken feathers on my suit. Mom would have had a cow, but go catch that chicken,
Because
you
that
know?
rooster would walk with me to the bus, and then when we'd come off the bus, it would be right there until
It
one day it
would.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Mom, it was probably at Phillips Park with the cats.
No.
So
I'll tell
remember,
you that story later.
so
You ate
Bill
it.
Adams and Dad started raising these chickens. We got an incubator. They got it. We raised them from eggs. What came first, the chicken or the egg? It was the egg in the situation. And one day, Bill's like, "Hey, I gotta leave early, Pastor. Jeannie wants me to pick up a chicken on the way home." And Dad said, "Hey, you don't have to do that. Go get you a chicken out there, or they're ready now."
They're ready.
So Bill went and got the chicken and brings it up to Dad, but it never dawned on Bill. Well, what do we do now? And Dad grabbed that chicken by the neck and wrung its neck. And I guess when you wring a chicken's neck, its head will flop, but it will still run around for a little bit.
Yes.
And Bill
Yes.
Adams passed out.
I think he
He
came to
passed
before he hit
out.
the ground, but yeah.
I, he couldn't eat that
I,
chicken that day. They had hamburger.
I'm glad I didn't see it. I was home, but I didn't see. I saw it
I
after the
never
fact.
wanted to be a part of that. I never wanted to be a part of it. I would gladly eat the chicken, but Dad had to kill it, and Dad had to pluck it. I did not care. That was too much work. Man, it's so much easier to go down to the store and buy it.
That would be the reason why you wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah, that
It's
was too
work.
much work,
You got to
you
pluck the
know.
feathers. You got it's a mess. Yeah, it's
But
not
remember, so our neighbors, they had chickens for a while, but then
first. They had them first.
they had them first, but then they
Free
had
reign.
I thought it was a cow, but it was a bull. Remember, they had that bull, and
Yeah.
it had an electric fence. And I remember one time as kids went out there, some missionaries were with us, staying with us,
I
and they went
know.
out there to look at the bull, but they didn't realize they're city people. They never realized the electric fence. And I remember their little boy grabbed the fence, and all of a sudden he went, ah, like that. Well, then the mom grabbed the boy, was going, and so you got the boy and the mom going, oh, like that. And then the dad
They're
grabbed
saying, "Let
the
go, let
mom,
go."
and they're all three going, oh, like this. And Greg was the smart one. Greg's the one, he dove and knocked him off of it to get him off of it. Greg was, back then, our brother was pretty smart. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think when he married Tammy, it all went out the window or something. I
I'll tell
blame
you.
her.
One time we were on the bus. It's not an animal story, but we were on the bus, and I don't remember what bus driver we had, but they left. They had to do something, and they put it in neutral, and we were on a little bit of a hill, and it starts
Yeah.
rolling, and I'm the oldest, and I start all the kids. everybody. I go, Greg, come on. I go, everybody. I'm gonna jump, and then you guys jump out. We're gonna jump off the bus, and Greg goes, and he just walks up to the bus, and then he puts his foot on the brake, and I'm like, or we could do that. I'm not good at a crisis. I will tell you that. I'm good if nobody else is there. If somebody else is there, but yeah, he's looking at me like, oh, I'm like,
I remember that because Greg, you didn't say, "Hey,
calmly. I'm like,
everybody, lay down."
everybody.
You
I was
said,
having everybody jump off.
"Everybody off the bus!" like that, and we're the little kids, we're panicking because you're like, "Off the bus now!" And Greg just walks up there and puts the brakes on
Slowly.
and
Yeah.
looks at you like
Like,
stupid.
you idiot. He may have said it. He may have said it. I
He
think he made
probably
sure everybody
did.
knew I, yes. Yeah, he was calmer and stuff than us.
But that bull, I remember. So every year, now Greg liked gardening.
Yes.
Dad and
He was
mom
the
liked
only one.
gardening. Me and you did not like gardening. I mean,
But we had to garden.
that was too much work too because at the grocery store, all those vegetables, they sold them in a can. I mean, we just went and they were 30 cents.
I didn't mind
That
shucking corn, and I didn't mind because mom and
I,
dad can. I didn't
pulling
mind
weeds.
snapping peas. It's a weeds. Thank you very much.
I
And and
hated.
we had one hoe, and dad used it, or mom, and the rest of us were on our knees and hands. Did you notice though, as each kid left the house, because it was a big garden, and as we all left, it got smaller
It got
and
smaller,
smaller. And
until
then
Greg came back.
dad gave it to Greg. You take care of it.
Yes, and Greg would love it, but Greg wasn't good at weeding it either. You
No, he
know,
crossbred stuff, and I think he did it on purpose. Like,
Greg was always experimenting with stuff.
yes.
I remember one time he had an egg in the kitchen, and he was
Oh,
telling mom this how he read it in a book how to open this egg, how you can just put a hole in the egg with this pencil, and with the pencil it won't break the egg, you know. And he does this, and of course the egg explodes, goes all over mom's floor. Which mom was, if
ooh,
you don't know our mom was a neat freak, and mom's
she's
like,
just
"Oh, look what you did to my kitchen, my kitchen." It was like the kitchen,
my
it was
kitchen's
a net.
ruined now. I have to have a new kitchen.
But Greg was always like doing experiments like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to the bull. So I remember, this is what's funny. Now I remember this even better now. So you guys worked at camp, and a
Right.
bunch of camp counselors were at our house for the weekend. All of a sudden, there is a bull in our garden, and nobody knew what to. I mean, bull. Who wants to take on a bull, right? And so everybody's trying to, like, what do we do? What do we do? And we're
We're in the
like,
house
"Dad,
looking out the window.
Dad." And then next thing, one of the counselor boys, I think it was Johnny Russell, was like, "Hey, you guys might want to get out here. Your mom's fighting the bull." And mom's out there with a broom hitting that bull on the head. Go, "Get out of my garden. Get out of my garden." Hitting that bull. And Dad's like, "Rella, what are you going to do if that bull? See, if that bull needs to worry about me. Now, Rella don't need to worry about that bull."
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh, mom was not
We
scared
didn't
of.
get. She didn't give us any of that spunk. I got a little bit of spunk, but I mean that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all got
that's
dad's laid back.
hey, Robbie, Reba, all the sisters was like that. That was reader blood, man. They were
Brothers
feisty
were too. I mean, Uncle
women,
Roy was kind of.
you
Somebody fix my
know.
pillow here. All right,
But one of my favorite animal
nasty women.
stories, and we're kind of going long, but that's okay. Let's tell this story. So Greg, we used to have these big oak trees, and when I say big, they were taller than our church. They were huge. Okay.
They were old.
And Greg got it in his mind that he wanted a pet crow. Remember that? In fact, we had two pet crows. But the one was, he went up there and he got this pet crow. Got this crow from out of the nest. I remember the crows were attacking him because they're trying to protect their baby. Greg gets this baby crow and raises it. And
Right.
we take it to Hoosier Hills Camp. His name was Deacon.
Well, but he but before he took it to Hoosier Hills Camp, he he flew around the house. You remember Dad going caw, caw, and he'd
Oh,
go out there. But it would go after the women. Well, it really didn't want to go after them. It liked people because it was used to people, and
yes,
those women were
because it
like
was very
screaming. And
domesticated. So we had
yes,
to take. Well, I remember. Do you remember Greg teaching it how to fly? Greg wanted to teach it how to fly
yes,
because it doesn't
yes.
have a mother. So we would have Sunday school. The adults had Sunday school in our. We had a big basement, right? So Greg put like
Yeah.
30 chairs in a circle, put this crow in a box in the middle, and Greg would flap his arm and jump from chair to chair around here teaching the crow how to fly.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
I
that part.
remember that. And I was I mean, I was young, but I'm cracking up because I was like, he was the smartest, book smart, one of the smartest guys, but he would do some stuff like that were just hilarious. But anyway, so we took this. It was we had to take it to camp. So Doyle said, "Yeah, bring it to camp." We made a little place for it, and that you could call it. You would go call, call, and it would come to us and would land on
Right.
you. But Pat Milligan's little son came out one time, had made this thing. I don't know, coloring or whatever, and that crow flew down. Deacon flew down and grabbed it out of his hand and went down to the bottom of the hill. And that boy's chasing. Before he get there, that crow would just rip that thing to shreds before he get there and just caw, go caw, caw. It was a mean. It wasn't a mean crow. It was mischievous. It loved people. Kids would have soda pop,
Love.
and he would grab the
He
soda
was
pop.
always
He
flying
couldn't
with them
fly
around the
off
kids.
with it. Yes, but he would fly down the hill with this, and before the kid could get to its soda pop, it would knock the soda pop over.
Yeah, but it also you had to be careful eating around him because he would want your food. He
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
hurt you, but he would.
Well, he would go. It was amazing because we had a drinking fountain outside, and that bird can go up to the drinking fountain and push the lever and get a drink. It was amazing. But family camp, all these women, he loved shiny things, and these women would wear shiny barrettes in their hair. And all of a sudden, you see this girl, you see these
That's
women
why we had to
at
get like
family
at
camp running
Valley. He would do
because,
that.
and he
Yes, he
would
was.
be tacking them.
I think
You
it was
see them
Patsy.
getting it out of their hair.
I think it was Patsy Hicks or somebody. One of those women were. They were like running, and I'm like, "What are they running?" I saw Deke, and I'm like, "Oh no!" It's like,
Oh, well, and we left that summer, and someone was supposed to take care of the crow, but they didn't. And that
and it was
crow
lonely.
got it was lonely. So what happened was it flew over to the elementary school and it was
That's
diving. It
right. I
wanted to
forgot
play with
about.
the kids.
But they
And
were
so they
scared of it.
realized that this was a domestic crow, that this was someone's pet. So they ended up that crow ended up at the
Ohio,
Cincinnati Zoo.
the Cincinnati
The
Zoo.
zoo came and got it, and so he lived out the rest of his life. They did shows and stuff with him at the Cincinnati Zoo. Isn't that
It was so
cool?
smart. Yeah, it was very cool.
He was
Had
smart,
a good
man.
ending. It was smart.
That one had a good ending. It made it to Cincinnati Zoo before Mama and Bonnie could get their hands on
But
it.
Greg didn't Greg do a couple? He did more than just one, but that was the most successful one. But I think he
That was the most successful one. He did the other ones. We
I think he
can't
almost
share
got
all those
killed like with
stories.
the car, but yeah, we don't have time for that. And he'll tell
Yeah,
us we're
Greg was.
liars. He'll want to tell his own
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
We got to get him on here one day so he can defend himself.
So he could defend himself. Oh gosh, I have so many
He's
Greg
never
stories.
believe us. I didn't do that. This is how it went.
Yeah, no, there were so many Greg stories that I would
Yeah.
love to spend an episode with him. I remember the Brad Noble told me one time, he goes, "Yeah, we used to always love to say wave goodbye to you guys because your brother would always wave and his shirt would come all the way up." Because
I called
Greg
it his
was
crop top.
convinced
Do you
he was
remember?
convinced he still wore medium shirt.
I'm getting off the subject again, but do you remember when you said Brad, know what made me think? Because I was thinking this the other day, because I'll be thinking about things about episodes and stuff, but and maybe I should share it for another episode. But uh, remember we had a youth rally and I think it was the Lindsay kids,
Yeah,
you, Brad, Jamie, Wes, and you guys had a band, and it was called Porcelain Ride.
the porcelain ride. And we wrote a song called "Always
Yes,
Marry an Ugly Girl" because they're not hard to find. If she ever leaves you, you really won't mind. We had a
do you
great
remember?
recording of
Because we
it
had,
too, and I wish
mhm.
I could find that.
And we had a good. It was like wasn't it a teen revival
It was a
week or
teen
something like that?
revival.
And the Lindsay
Hmm.
kids and I think it was the Lindsay kids and Brad and you guys all did. And it took some people a little bit porcelain ride. Why porcelain ride? I'm like,
Yeah. Tell the people
yeah,
who
think
are
about it.
listening that don't understand what's a porcelain ride.
It's a toilet.
Toilet. Yeah. So
Toilet.
that's what we named. I think
That's
Bradley
all I'm gonna
is the one that
say.
named. I think Bradley is the
Probably.
one that named our group.
Probably.
So that's something I know we'll do.
And all the guys get up there with their instruments. And did Jamie have a tambourine? I don't remember.
Yeah, and because one of the Lindsay played the violin too, and all
I don't
that
remember that.
banjo. We. Oh
I know
yeah,
they
we
did
had.
banjo. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I remember the verses to it too.
Good
I was
times.
singing. I was actually singing it the other day. It was so hilarious.
Really?
But
I was
yeah,
thinking about that the other day, and I don't know what made me think about it. And I'm like, oh, that is such a good story. Of course, it's
yeah,
another Noble story. You got the Nobles, got the Lindsays in there, but yeah,
yes. Well, we've already gone past most of our limits, but about the animal stories. And we got, the thing is, man,
yeah, got a lot
we
of
had
them.
to stop at that because we have so many. Mom did not like pets because
But
because they were
Greg
raised.
had that in the utility room. Greg had that crow in the utility room, and he would feed it dog food, like he would put it in water. Do you remember that? Because
Yeah,
I had to feed it one time when he was gone. I'm like, and it opened its mouth. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So it was
yeah.
like, that's a lot for mom to let him keep it in their utility room. And then she fussed about it the whole
Mom,
time.
oh yeah. No, well, the one
But
thing is
you
me.
and Greg were used to mom. I was like,
Well,
okay,
so you got everything you wanted from dad, but me and Greg, we did have mom wrap around our finger. Mom had a
yeah.
hard time saying no to me and Greg, which I can't blame her. We're so awesome.
Especially if dad got after you boys, then she was defending.
She
I
would
can't even
defend
get
us.
after them boys. Really, you're always.
Well, we were good boys,
Yeah,
you
we
know.
were. Yeah,
Well, we were. Don't be jealous.
yeah.
So
Don't be jealous because I wasn't a good boy. Yeah, I'm not jealous about that.
you were not a good boy.
No, I was not a
You were
good
not
boy. Thank you,
not at
Jesus.
all. So well, next week. This coming week, actually, Becky is going to be uh, with her other daughter, Brooke,
Brooke,
who's
my
had
other daughter.
this is their 18th child that they've just had. Um,
I get to go see
they're
him finally.
they're trying to get their own show, 21 and County, but they're going to be the new Duggars. So, anyways, so Becky's going to give us. We're going to have some interviews with them, and I can't wait. I want you to interview Frankie and all them
Um,
and stuff like
they'll
that. I can't imagine.
Wilder. Now Wilder is mom, and there's a picture on Facebook, and she put. So does Frankie. Frank, they put their hands on their hips like mom did, but mom when she put her hand on her hips, she didn't put a fist. She always had her hands open,
Yeah,
and then she'd go like this and stick out, and that's why Frank Wilder does that. Frankie
that's
puts her hand on
funny.
her hip like mom does, but yeah, they're very much like her. I'm sure they're
Now is
like Tim's
Bonnie
family, but I don't know that.
now is
And
Bonnie
Bonnie's
going to
gonna
be
be
down
there.
there? Oh, good.
Yeah,
So we definitely got to get Bonnie will make account of herself this time. I want to
she
know
probably
about my
won't do it, but
animals.
I'll have to beg her. And then the week after I get back, it's the week after I get back. Wes and Leela are supposed to be coming into town.
Oh, that would be good too.
Yeah,
That would be good too. So they can always tell us some more stories about
right.
Becky.
And we're going to be having Dad on a little more often.
Yeah, that was fun last week having Dad.
Yeah, and he loved it, and it gave him a little pep in his step. And
He did the other day. I showed he hadn't seen any of the videos, so the other day I put it on his TV so he could watch them. And he before we could finish the story, he was finishing them. You know,
yes,
so it was kind of fun to watch. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, that's it for our show today. Looking
Don't
forward to
forget to
talking
tell
to you
your
guys
friends,
next week.
family. Like us on
Yeah,
YouTube.
so go subscribe to, if you would, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. We need people to do all that, okay?
Yeah.
So, all
Whether
right.
you
Well,
like it or
you
not
all,
like it, you owe us.
yes, you will do it.
If you don't,
All
I'll tell
right.
a story about you.
All right. You all have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.